This is because there are a lot of them that are dumb.
This one's called the Viper.
Okay, yeah, that's right. Show him the picture.
It's stupid. Look at this fucking asshole.
What?
He's the Viper.
He's the Viper.
It's John C. Reilly.
John C. Reilly is
The
Viper. Coming to you this Halloween. A widow lived alone on the top floor of an apartment house. One morning her telephone rang. Hello, she said. This is the Viper, a man said. I'm coming up. Someone is fooling around, she thought, and hung up. A half hour later, the telephone rang. It was the same man. It's the Viper. I'll be up soon, he said. The widow, don't know why it's important that she doesn't have a husband, guys.
So no. Bless
No,
you.
she doesn't have a man to defend her.
Yeah.
The widow didn't
Or
know.
define her.
Well, kinda, because she's defined
still
as
probably
like
the
somebody
widow.
whose husband is dead.
Yeah.
Like that's all
So
we know her
she's
as.
literally
So
defined by the
he's
absence
dead,
of
but
her husband.
we're still defining her by
Yeah.
her husband.
Yeah. Absence is not equity.
The woman did not know what to think.
Much better.
I
Yeah.
couldn't have said that. But she was getting frightened. One more time, the telephone rang. Again, it was the Viper. I'm coming up now, he said. She quickly called the police. They said they would be right over. When the doorbell rang, she sighed with relief. They're here, she thought. But when she opened the door, there stood a little old man with a bucket and a cloth. I'm the Viper, he said. I wish to wash and wipe the windows.
He's a wiper.
He's a window viper.
He's a window viper.
He came to wash and wipe the windows.
He's just from Central Europe.
Yeah. It's racist.
But that's his job.
I don't know why he had to call her
It's
like
ra-
4 times to
it's
say
ra-
I'm coming
it's-
to take care of your windows.
Yeah, why couldn't he just say, I'm going to clean your windows? Why would you
Maybe
say
the
I'm
postscript
wiper?
is, and then he stabbed her to death.
There's no context. Thank you. That's your context clue.
That would be so
I
good.
am here to clean your windows
And also to
kill
murder
you.
you.
Ew!
Yeah.
This is supposed to be a funny story.
No.
And this is the
Whoa.
picture.
No, that is horrifying.
Guys, this
Ooh,
story is
I don't like
hilarious.
What's it say in the bottom of the page?
How the dead man danced. It's delightful. His
I don't
corpse.
remember that
gone
one.
I don't want
but
children
that's
to read
super
that.
gross.
So this whole chapter is all about notes.
What?
Is this whole thing like
Why
an
would there-
appendix? This whole whoa. This is intense.
What?
There's-
Oh,
and
then
this
that's
is
the next book.
More,
More scary
Oh.
stories to tell in the dark. Ah, it looks like
Why?
a ghost
How did they
baby.
get this job?
Ghost baby, yes. Ghost baby knows all your secrets, Terry.
They just they found some really
So
disturbed, awesome
really-
artist. who
I-
was
it's
at the
awesome, but
end
it's
of
so
their
upsetting.
rope.
Complete with Stephen Gamel, splendidly creepy.
Who is
and-
this Stephen Gamel?
Gamels? Gamels?
I don't know.
Mark Hamels?
He just, defined our
Yeah.
childhood. It's so
Yeah, I mean Stephen Gamel put up against the person who wrote the copy.
I feel like the person wrote these kind of scary stories. Like some of them,
half-assed,
some
yeah.
of them
Oh,
are
yeah.
almost scary. I don't know. That horse one was like next
Women
level
always
fucked
are
up.
afraid of something.
Yeah,
Girls always are afraid.
It's like an 82-year-old woman wrote them. She's like,
Oh,
wow, this
everyone
is
should
stinky.
stay home.
yeah.
Girls should not be out with boys alone at night.
Or out doing anything really.
I'm
Or
a-
alone. There was the
I'm a
babysitter
widow.
one where somebody
No
the
typewriters.
calls are coming from inside the house or
Yeah.
something, and
Oh,
both
yeah.
of the kids are dead or something.
The kids are also dead.
I think so. There's a babysitter one
What
in
the
these.
fuck is this random face?
Man, I don't know.
Fuck.
I'm gonna go
But
to the
like-
bathroom. I'm
but
gonna-
then-
So wait,
this- the only-
old lady Semple wrote
Only-
these stories, right?
The only thing on this picture was to Lauren.
To Lauren.
And they're like, I'm gonna do
I'm gonna
this.
put pig boys.
I'm gonna just put
Yeah.
this. Is Lauren look like? Is that what Lauren looks like?
When we had a pig boy and we put him out to dry on the clothes hanger.
Oh, what the fuck is this?
Hoo-haws. Those are boobs, right? But
Those are boobs, but
you have the deformed skeleton.
these scary stories will take you on a strange and fearsome journey where darkness or fog or mist or the sound of a person screaming or dog howling turns ordinary places into nightmarish places.
This is a forward.
Where nothing is what you expect. That's a very long
Yeah, it's a
sentence.
very...
That sentence
yeah.
goes a lot. They're like, so it might be ordinary, or there's a mist, or maybe a scream, or a thing. When she saw him, she screamed and ran. That's not...
That's the title?
Apparently. Ooh, Princeton, New Jersey. You could tell nobody from Princeton was copy editing.
Wow.
Oh no. Something was wrong.
This was like done through the Educational Testing Service. It's that part of Princeton. It's the
Whoa.
SAT people.
Oh, Jesus Christ. What is... This one seems pretty fucked up. Fred and Jean went to the same high school, but they met for the first time at the Christmas dance. Fred had come by himself, and so had Jean. Soon Fred decided that Jean was one of the nicest girls he had ever met.
What?
I'm sure that's what he was thinking. He's like, oops. They danced together most of the evening. At 11, Jean said, I have to leave now. Can you give me a ride? Creative Jean. Sure. I've got to go home, too, he said.
Alright, yeah.
I accidentally drove my car into a tree on my way over here. Jean said.
Yeah.
I guess I wasn't paying attention. Fred drove her to the head of Brady Road. It was in a neighborhood he didn't know very well. Why did you drop me off here? Jean said. The road up ahead is in really bad condition. I can walk from here. Fred stopped the car and held out some tinsel. Have some, he said. I got it at the dance. Thank you, she said. I'll put it in my hair. Is that what people do with tinsel?
Can we take a second? Because I... So, you really want to walk home for the rest of this?
Yeah, it's easy.
That's...
But also...
I'm not going to say, before you go,
Are you okay?
If you're gonna go, I was gonna give this to you later. I kind of took some tinsel from the dance, and I very much wanted you to have it.
That's so nice.
Thank you. What
I'm gonna put it in my hair.
in your hair? That's exactly kind of what I had
Yeah.
hoped you would do. It's really beautiful. Thank you for sort of psychodramaing that for a minute for me, because that sucks, right?
So, well, first of all,
Does that make
she's-
you like go like I wanna make out with Terry right now? No, it doesn't. It does not do that.
But also, like, he stole a thing that cost $1 at the dollar store for a huge
For, like,
thing,
a lot.
and he's like, listen, I got this at the dance.
This is a fraction of a
Tinsel?
penny.
But further, can we just talk about the fact that she crashed her car on the way to the dance and was like,
Tinsel. Yes,
but
yes,
she's
that's
like,
right.
I
She's
guess I'll
wrecked
just,
a car.
I guess I'll just walk to
Yep.
the dance, and he's like, that's cool.
That's all right.
She's like, I need a ride because I crashed my car. Guess I wasn't paying attention. Aha, women, they're always scared of something.
Leave your Honda Elantra behind. And yeah, I've got tinsel.
And then he's like, she's got the tinsel on her hair.
Yeah.
And he goes,
Mhm.
he's like, would you like to go out sometime to a
Yeah.
movie or something? She's like, that's great.
All right, so he's sealing the deal. He's doing it.
And then, as Fred drove off, he realized he did not know Jean's last name or her telephone number. I'll go back,
And
he
this is
thought.
before Facebook, so.
The road can't be that bad. He drove slowly down Brady Road through thick woods, but there wasn't a sign of Jean. As he came around the curve, he saw the wreckage of a car ahead. It had crashed into a tree and caught fire. Smoke was still rising from it. As Fred made his way to the car, he could see someone trapped inside, crushed against the steering column. It was Jean.
It's Jean.
In her hair was the Christmas tinsel
my
he had
God.
given her.
Who's the nicest girl he ever met?
But she was already dead.
She's dead?
She was already dead.
He danced with a ghost?
He danced. He got an erection rubbing up against a ghost.
He was hating
We've
on
all
a
been there,
ghost.
though,
Yeah.
right?
It was a hated boner. Wicked hates of bonos.
Wicked hates of
Boners
boners.
past.
That's scary.
That is scary.
That is scary. That's the one that really, that is kind of
That's fucked up. I
Yeah.
read the last line. I was like, oh.
Oh,
And
no.
especially because it said crushed against the steering column.
Yeah.
I was
That's
like,
specific.
oh my god.
Fucking tinsel
That's
in her
rough.
hair. And he
What is
like
this
went
one?
and
He
stole
went-
the
He
tinsel.
was like, who
God,
steals
Look at this
tinsel?
picture.
Who does it? I gotta say, more scary stories, scarier. I think they're scarier.
I don't like this picture. I'll tell you why.
I think you don't.
Because the people, the ghouls in the picture,
Uh-huh.
they're really scared of something, right?
Yeah, they're scared.
And they're already pretty scary.
That's
And this
exactly
one
it.
looks like E.T.
They've been scary probably for a long time.
So what do they have to be afraid
What's
of?
so scary?
Maybe they're looking at us and they're like, those
What's
human,
so scary, guys?
those human beings.
Oh god, this is a
It's
long
called
one.
One
Really-
Sunday
oh.
Morning.
Let's see.
I see torn to shreds.
I went to a 7 o'clock Sunday morning service at her church because
Oh,
she's a
nice.
good
She's a
Christian
good
woman.
girl.
She's fun.
name's
Church
Ida.
bells. This morning, she heard her church bells while she was still in bed. That means I'm late, she thought. She jumped out of bed, quickly dressed, left without eating or looking at the clock. It was still dark outside, but it usually was dark at this time of year. At 7 in the morning, where? Okay, whatever.
Alaska.
No,
Ida was the
scared.
only one on the street. The only sound she heard were the clatter of her shoes on the pavement. Everybody must already be in church, she thought.
She said stressed
Even though
out.
it's dark, I guess? I don't know. Ida took a shortcut through the cemetery. Then she quietly slipped into the church and found a seat. The service had already begun. When she caught her breath, Ida looked around. The church was filled with people she'd never seen before.
Jesus.
But the woman next to her
I
did
thought she
look
was late.
familiar, though.
Oh.
Ida smiled at her. It's Josephine Carr, she thought. But she's dead! She died a month ago. Wait a minute. So even when you're dead, you still have to go to church? As her eyes
Oh.
began to
Catholic
adjust to the
church,
dim
probably.
light, Ida saw some skeletons in suits and dresses.
What?
This is a service for the dead, Ida thought. Everybody here's dead except me. Or maybe she is dead.
Ooh.
Ida noticed some of them were staring at her. They looked angry, as if she had no business there. Josephine Carr leaned toward her and whispered, "Leave right after the benediction, if you care for your life."
Specific.
Yeah.
If you can't for your life.
When the
You have
service
to
came
wait
to an end,
until
the
the
minister gave his
benediction.
blessing. "The Lord bless you and keep you," he said. "The Lord make his face to shine upon you." Oh shit, that's the benediction. Ida grabbed her coat and walked quickly toward the door. When she heard footsteps behind her, she glanced back. Several of the dead were coming toward her. See, that's them. They're angry.
Oh,
Others were
they're
getting up to
angry.
join them. "The Lord lift up his countenance to you," the minister went on. Ida was so frightened she began to run.
Why did she wait through the whole service?
I don't know.
She's like, God, this preacher can preach though. Oh, and this is my
Whoa. favorite
favorite hymn.
Yeah, right? Oh, this is a good one. We'll just wait. Out the door
Mighty
she ran with a
Fortresses are
pack
God,
of
hell
shrieking
yeah.
ghosts at her heels. "Get out!" one of them screamed. Another shouted, "You don't belong here!" and ripped her coat away. As
So
Ida ran through the
judgmental.
cemetery, I know, a third grabbed the hat from her head. "Don't come back!" it screamed and shook its arm at her. By the time Ida reached the street, the sun was rising, and the dead had disappeared. Did this really happen? Ida asked herself, or have I been dreaming? That afternoon, one of Ida's friends, presumably still alive, brought over her coat and hat, or what was left of them. They had been found in the cemetery, torn to
Ripped to
shreds.
shreds.
Now, did Ida's friend ask any questions? Like,
Did Ida go to church
Did
on
you get
time?
attacked?
that's a good question. Like, "Hey, Ida, so we're good friends, so I recognized your
Your-
coat and your
your-
And your
hat.
hat.
Your stupid coat.
You're
yeah.
always wearing that blossom
What
hat.
were you doing in the graveyard, Ida?"
Hypernation.
What's up with
It
that?
probably was a blossom
and Ida,
hat, 'cause
why
this is the
were you
90s.
not
So this
in
was 6
church?
who came over?
6. 6 came over. Blossom's friend.
Oh, I don't know. I never watched it. I
You're
just remember
there.
the hat.
Yeah, it was there. It was present.
Yeah.
6 also wore hats.
She wore a lot of hats. She lost her virginity in the show.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
It was a big deal.
It was a
6 did or
big-
Blossom did?
6.
6. Blossom.
How old was 6?
Blossom kept it locked down.
Yeah.
6 had a little gap in her teeth and it was cute.
God, I was crazy for 6.
She was like the spunky friend. And
Sure.
Blossom.
And a slut.
Blossom-
This was
Obviously.
totally a slut.
Bong. A weird blue light.
But this picture's kind of cool. And look
That's
at the
pre-
detail on that. thing.
Pretty.
So this was like the week that this poor artist had gotten a little bit of like help.
Yeah, but look at
Maybe
it
a
closer. And look
relative.
at the
Maybe
like,
a
Oh, that's
relative-
dark. No, it's terrifying
Yeah,
and
yeah.
awful, but it's
A
just not
relative reached out.
that bad.
It's very lovely.
This one's about a Confederate blockade in 1864. A Confederate blockade runner. No, 1864.
I was gonna say.
I don't think there were any of those left in
I
the
hope not.
1960s, but
It's
you
a
know.
reenactment.
Necessities, cargo. Blah, blah, blah. A shriek from one of the crew. A strange old-fashioned schooner with a big black flag was rushing down at us.
We don't call them schooners anymore.
She was afire with a sort of weird pale blue light that lighted up every nook and cranny of her. It's a ghost ship. Obviously, it's a ghost ship. Anybody can tell you that. Blah, blah, blah.
Weird
Blah,
blue
blah, blah.
light.
They all had ghastly bleeding
Oh, look how
wounds,
cool
but they're...
it is. It has the page numbers of the original book.
Aw. So you're like, it's page 11. God, I've been reading for forever.
Oh,
You're
it's
never
page
gonna
11 of
finish
the
this
second
book.
book.
Oh, some say it was the ghost of Jean Lafitte's pirate ship Pride that sank off Galveston Island. And he has a pirate bar in New Orleans that.
And that was
Well,
the end
that-
of the story?
Yeah,
That's
it
a
was
bad
boring.
punchline.
Oh yeah, but I don't.
So I got-
That bar in New Orleans.
Ooh, look at this fucker.
That was a sick.
Ooh.
Ew.
That is not a
This
cute
is the-
dog.
Oh
Led
no, I
Zeppelin
don't
song.
like that dog is bad. It's a bad dog. That's the devil's like dog.
It's a devil
Uh-huh.
dog.
Because
That's
its paws
delicious.
are fucking huge.
It's the black dog.
Billy Mansfield said that a little black dog followed him wherever he went.
Oh, so cute.
But he was
Terry,
the
look
only
how
one who
cute it
saw
is.
it. So people thought he was kind of crazy. To drive the dog away, Billy was always hollering at it, throwing rocks at it, but the dog always came back. The first time Billy saw that dog was the day he fought Silas Burton. Billy was just a young man then, but the Burtons in Billy's family had been feuding for years. When Billy saw Silas riding toward him, he went for his gun, and Burton went for his. But Billy fired first. He hit Burton in the back, knocking him from his horse. What the fuck
He
family
shot
is this?
him.
Yeah. Burton's horse ran
What
off and his
historical
gun fell where
context
he
is
couldn't
this?
reach it. We've got no context here.
No. It's okay to murder here? I think
I
it's
guess
okay.
so.
But there's a dog, and
Well, their
that's
families
annoying.
are feuding, so it's okay.
The dog's the annoying part, though.
Yeah. He lay there on the ground, pleading with Billy not to kill him, but Billy killed him anyway.
Isn't this the premise to the song Rocky Raccoon?
He's a scamp. There's a Billy in it.
Burton's little black dog was with him when he was shot. The dog kept licking Burton's face and barking and snarling at Billy. In his anger, Billy killed the dog too.
What the fuck?
They kind of buried the lead here and saying
Yeah.
that, like,
Yeah,
oh, there was
Billy's
a
a
dog
There's a
that followed
dog
him
that
around.
was following around is
Yeah.
annoying. It started after he murdered a guy and the dog. That
Yeah.
kind of looks
Yeah.
like this dog. But anyway, there wasn't
There
much
wasn't much
law
law enforcement in those
days.
days. Okay, that clears up a
Maybe you
little
should
bit.
have said that early.
So Billy wasn't arrested, but all that night he heard Burton's dog outside his cabin scratching on his door and barking to be let in. I'm imagining this, Billy said to himself. I shot that dog. It's dead. But the next morning, Billy saw the dog. It was waiting for him outside. From then on, there was not a day when he didn't see it, and there wasn't a night when he didn't hear it scratching on his door, barking to be let in. From then on, Billy was always finding black dog hairs on the sofa, on the floor, in his bed, even in his food, and the house and the yard stank of dog. That's
Stank
what
of
Billy
dog.
said. Whenever somebody told him there wasn't any dog to see, he said, maybe you don't see it, but I do, and I'm not any crazier than you are. That's
Said the
redneck
crazy
logic
person.
right there. Things went on like that for many years. Then one morning in the middle of the winter, the neighbors didn't see any smoke coming out of Billy's chimney. When they went over to check, Billy wasn't there. A day or so later, they found his body lying in the snow in a field back of his cabin. Billy had plenty of enemies, and at first it seemed like somebody might have killed him. Yeah, Billy did seem like a dick. Like, this seems like
killed
Seemed
someone.
like he
that
ought
was
to
a
have
dog.
died.
like easy, yeah.
Just for
But there wasn't a
justice.
mark on his body, and there weren't any footprints out there, except for Billy's. The doctor said Billy probably died of old age, but there was something odd about his death. When the neighbors found Billy, there were black dog hairs on his clothes. There were even a few on his face. It smelled like a dog had been out there. Yet no one had seen a dog anywhere.
Why did it take the dog that long to kill this guy?
Yeah, seriously.
Like, kill him the day after you. Like,
Maybe he's a
It didn't,
ghost
like,
dog. Maybe ghost
suffer.
dogs.
this
don't
dog
have
can
the-
do anything.
Look
Look,
at
at
his
that
claws.
fucking dog.
Billy didn't like. It
Dog
wasn't
has
like
hands.
the Scottish play or anything. He didn't live with it on his conscience or anything.
No,
he just
No, he didn't
just
give a shit.
lived.
smelled dog.
And he's like, I smell
And he's
dog
like, oh, this is so
everywhere."
annoying. There's dog hair on my stuff.
Ooh. These pictures,
Ooh.
though.
That's
I don't remember that one.
oh, that's fucked up.
What the fuck is this?
Can I see it?
Ooh, kninky knink.
May I see her?
She's so scary. She looks like a dead angel.
So she's
Yeah, look at her face.
Ooh, clink, 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 clink. Bazoo, clink, clink.
she also looks like Iggy Pop.
Kinda. Like,
She
if
does
Iggy
look
Pop
Iggy
was
Pop.
like
Here comes
a translucent gypsy woman.
with a nickel and dime and a sex machine. That's amazing. You've got it. Look, it's one of those.
Now
stupid-
quickly jump at somebody in the audience and scream, "You got it!"
Is this a bat cat? That's amazing.
Yikes. I don't wanna
Oh,
settle with
that
that.
sucks. It's a cat that has the parts of
Of
a
a
bat,
bat.
but the
It's a
cat
bat cat.
also has
It's
like a
standing up, too.
human's navel.
Yeah, I don't like that.
So it's like a perverse sort of griffin-like human, because it's got hands. It's holding up this sign that says she was just spitting and yelling just like a cat.
It's like a
And
boombox.
he's looking,
He's like the say anywhere bat
and that's
cat.
because that's a boy bat cat. That's not a
Yeah.
girl cat.
Definitely.
That continence is like male. I don't like it at all. I don't like it.
Terry don't like that cat.
Very upset by that cat.
cat
Terry
is
don't
not
like that cat,
named
y'all.
Jinx and is not named Raffles.
Raffles.
That is not a good cat.
It might
And
be
nor
named
it's,
Kevin.
it's a
Oh,
bad
you wanna sit
bat
on that?
as well.
On what?
Like this small. I could sit on it.
I want to know about this fucking cat.
Oh, the cooler. Yeah, I could sit on the cooler.
Yeah, it's actually.
Well, it doesn't. It just says like in this chapter, there's this and this and this. So I don't know if there's even
Oh my
a story
God,
about
that's-
it.
The bat
just-
cat might just
Oh,
be the guy being the fucked
gross.
up artist.
This is
the
called
picture
The
in this
Bride,
one?
and the girl is got spiders crawling
Are
up
those spiders
her.
or flowers?
I
Oh,
just-
there are spiders right here.
Are they? Okay, so
Are
this
they
is
sea
spider
urchins?
web, and then there are like tarantula type spiders crawling towards her, and her face is all like emaciated, and the gum line has receded from her teeth, and one of her eyes is just the light is out.
gross.
This is terrifying.
She's a beautiful.
Okay, so-
So it's going to be like the scariest story ever, right?
I just
So read
read
it.
the first page,
Okay.
and so the minister's daughter just gotten married, and for some reason after the wedding ceremony, everybody hung out and played games, because that happens at I don't know, maybe this
They're
is
playing hide and go seek,
At-
like grown ass people.
yeah, instead of like having an open bar, they play hide and seek.
Like,
So
"All
she
right,
went up in the
Grandpa,
attic and she's like,
come
no one will
find me."
ever find me here. And she hid in a trunk, but then the lid came down and smacked her in the head and she fell unconscious inside. And
She's the
thing-
newlywed?
Yes. This is the bride. And then it locked. No one will ever know how long she called for help or how hard she struggled to free herself from that tomb. Everyone in the village searched for her, and they looked almost everywhere.
Did they
but
look
no
in
one
the
thought
trunk?
of looking in the trunk. After a week, her brand new bridegroom and all the others gave her up for lost. Years later, her maid went up into the attic looking for something she needed. Maybe it is in the trunk, she thought. She opened it and screamed. There lay the missing bride in her wedding dress, but by then she was only a skeleton. She
That's
got
not
a raw deal.
That's not
She's
even like a story.
That's not
That's just
it's just
it's fucked up.
very unfortunate,
It's just like,
It's real sad.
guess what?
and should
You
not.
might die in a trunk if you play hide and go seek too well.
It's another, like, moral of the story is don't ever do anything.
When you guys get married on the day, my
Uh-huh.
gift to you is that I'm going to make sure that you guys don't fall into a well or a trunk
Get
or get
go hide
locked
and
in a
go seek.
closet.
Somebody's like, let's play hide and go seek, and you punch him in the
I'll be
face.
like, go fuck yourself.
This one's got a suggestive title.
Oh
Ew.
shit! Oh fuck! That's
the name of this is Wonderful Sausage.
Wonderful sausage.
We know all about wonderful,
Whoa.
wonderful sausage.
So this is a sausage meatball
Made out of someone's own arm, probably.
in an arm holding.
The
guess.
hand is, yeah.
Some
It's a
say
left
he was
hand.
fed to the hogs.
What?
Others say he was fed to his sausage grinder, but he was never seen again, and neither was his wonderful sausage meat.
It really says
Okay.
He's just showing his
So he's a
dick to
butcher who
everyone.
killed his wife, and he ground her up into sausage meat and buried her bones under a big flat rock in the backyard. And he
It's
told everybody
called
she moved
special.
away.
Mm-hmm. And he
So
sold
he
them
mixed his new
her
sausage
meat.
meat
Sweeney
with pork
Todd.
and
Yum.
he smoked it, and he called it Blunt Special Sausage because his name was Blunt. And there was such a demand that
Ooh, I love your special
he
stuff.
oh gross. He bought the best hogs he could find and started raising his own pork, and he kept a sharp lookout for humans who might make a tasty sausage meat. How does one know that? Like, how do you look at somebody and be like, oh,
Because
she'd be good in a sausage?
I'd be
Marbling.
amazing.
Yeah,
I
you're
have
probably right.
big muscles and a
Mm.
fat butt, so
Mm.
I
So
would
you'd be
taste
great in a sausage.
amazing.
Delicious.
It would be so good.
I'm probably
My butt is probably really tender.
One day.
I'm probably like deer meat.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
very
it's all
lean.
tendony and
You
like,
really-
oh, it tastes
be
like
rough.
tobacco and bourbon.
We'd have to brine you really
Yeah,
well.
yeah, a lot.
And then we'd be
just
like,
to get it soft
or like just
again.
make it like jerky, and
Mhm.
we're like, this is okay if we put a lot of flavor, like.
But
a
there's
lot of
only
spice.
like
jerky.
a pound and a
Dairy
half
jerky.
of my meat will end up being
Julia would be
digestible.
like the little bird you eat,
Be
covered
delightful.
by
Like a
covered
delicacy.
with a cloth, the
Mhm.
French thing, where
Yeah.
they're like you have to hide your shame when you.
You have
eat
like
it.
a
You're
Cornish hen.
What? I don't know
Do you
of
know
this
what
delicacy.
I'm talking about? There's a thing where it's a French, it's like a tiny bird that's
Mhm.
super tiny and delicate, and it's so tiny that you eat the entire thing with its skeleton in
Mm.
one
Ew,
bite.
that's disgusting.
But the tradition, I know, but the tradition is because you're like murdering a delicate, beautiful animal when you eat it. You cover your entire face with your napkin, and you just you gotta
And
yeah.
then you fuck.
That should be. It's probably an aphrodisiac because you're like
Yeah,
just
this
murdered.
is fucking
So is it
sick.
still alive when you put it in your mouth?
No, it's cooked.
If you're doing it right, yeah.
If you want to be super.
This is
fucking
something that
metal
I'm
about
not
it.
gonna look up. I'm never gonna
No.
do a Google image search for this.
Oh no, I
Delicate-
wouldn't look up an image
Delicate
search.
napkin
but
bird.
napkin. I don't remember what it is, but I remember learning about it. It's just like veal tastes great, and that's evil.
Yeah.
It's not nice.
It's not sexy at all.
It's delicious.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Gross.
Yeah.
It's so
it's
mean.
not sexy.
Like foie gras is delicious, and it's so mean.
not sexy.
It's basically like Abu Ghraib for like
Yeah.
poor little.
Ew.
Little
geese.
geesies, yeah.
You're like torturing them. They didn't do anything wrong. They have no information that they can give up. You just
They
want
just-
to overfatten their.
Who 3,000 years ago in like Rome was
Was
like,
like,
you know
"Let's
what,
do
the
that."
liver of this bird?
Tastes awesome when you fucking force feed it.
Why did you force feed that bird?
Can't you just give it McDonald's like the rest of the fucking world
Yeah.
and like let it get fatty on? Like I'm sure it could get really fatty without force feeding it. There's gotta you just give
So
it
you're
French fries.
advocating like a
Hey,
free
look, it's your-
range
it's
foie
your-
gras.
That's gotta be possible.
That's
What
like-
is that a
It's your,
lion?
your
That's-
Aunt Lisa.
That's Aunt Lisa when she got a bunch of like surgical things done so she could look more like a kitty cat.
This just looks like an album cover to like an '80s band that's like we are Lion Claw.
You're taking on the run, baby. If that's the way you want it, baby, then I don't want you around. Somebody was stealing the meat Jed Smith kept in his smokehouse. Every day a ham or some bacon or something else was missing.
Mhm.
Finally, Jed decided he had to put a stop to it. One night he hid in the smokehouse with his rifle and he waited for the thief. He didn't have to wait long, for soon a black she-cat slunk in. How can you tell that? Unless she looks
That-
like that. She's
that
got a
whore.
pearl necklace and earrings and a mullet.
Fucking worn
That
out
bitch.
whore.
She was the biggest cat Jed had ever seen. When she jumped up and pulled down a ham hanging from the ceiling, Jed grabbed his rifle and turned on the lights. But instead of running away, the cat jumped at him. He fired and shot off one of her paws.
Oh shit!
Jed was sure he would have heard a woman scream right after his gun went off. The cat began tearing around the room, spitting and yowling. Okay, so this is like the cat, the bat cat, maybe.
Bad cat.
Then she ran up the chimney and was gone. Jed stared at the cat's paw, only it wasn't a cat's paw anymore. A woman's foot lay wriggling on the floor, all shot up and bloody. So it's a witch that's been doing it, he told himself. Just then one of Jed's neighbors, a fellow named Burdick,
That comes out of nowhere.
Yeah, do we need to know that? Came racing down the road to get a doctor. His wife's foot had been shot in an accident, he told Jed. She's bleeding pretty bad, he said. The doctor got to her barely in time. People who were there when it happened said that she was spitting and yowling just like a cat.
Can we talk about how Burdick is abusing his wife by not feeding her and she has to turn into a cat to steal meats?
Can we
Yeah.
talk about how Burdick's parents named him Burdick? I
why
think those
he's
are the
an
real bad
abuser.
guys in this story.
That's why he's an
It's a
Male
cycle of
cats.
abuse. It's like, yeah.
Have penises that when they
Burdicks?
Yeah, they have burdicks. When they put their penises
I've
in the
heard
kitty
that.
cat,
I
it
thought-
kind of
yeah.
gets some purchase in there and like
Ooh.
the
There's
tissue.
that's
another
why-
bad cat.
Yeah, here we go. When
Oh,
I wake
no.
up, everything will be alright.
There's so many bad
Oh,
cats.
see, but this is
you.
another chapter thing. There are
No.
scary stories here about a
Why's the
subway.
bat cat back?
The bat
The
cat
bat cat's
sucks.
back.
I
The
want to
very
Yeah, I don't like his
next
belly
day.
button.
the bat cat's human navel is the most atrocious and like
See, it kind
anti-god
of has like
thing.
man boobs. Like
Yeah.
it's kind of
Yeah,
shaped
it
like a
looks
middle-aged
kind of like
man.
a
Yes,
shitty-
that's why we think it's a man because it feels
like a
like it's
shitty
like
guy.
oh god, it's this
Yeah, he doesn't
insurance
have boobs.
salesman who's like got me drunk and took me home.
What the fuck?
It's like a
That's-
ghost
that's-
dinosaur.
I kind of
Ghost
want to get
Godzilla.
like full
that's
posters of
terrible.
this. Hang it in your bedroom overnight. You wake up to it like in the darkness when you have to pee.
You're like, why did I get that?
The cat in a shopping bag. There's a lot of cat ones in this one.
Cats. Everyone thinks they're evil, but they're really awesome, and they make good Reddit gifts.
Preaching to the choir. Okay, so a woman runs over a cat. She couldn't bear to leave the corpse on the road for other cars to hit, so she wrapped it in some tissue paper, put it in an old shopping bag, and she was going to bury it when she got home. And then she went to the mall,
hmm
and
No,
she's walking around,
with the dead cat in the bag. Why would you?
and
do
then
it?
she sees a woman steal the cat bag from her car and drive away.
What?
And so she runs back to her car and follows the woman. And she caught up with her at a diner down the road, and she followed her inside and watched the woman slide into a booth and give the waitress her order. As the woman sat sipping her soda, she reached into Mrs. Briggs' shopping bag. Then she bent down and looked inside. A look of horror crossed her face. She screamed and fainted. Yeah. Okay.
hmm
Woman called an ambulance. Attendants carried her on the stretcher, but they left the shopping bag behind. This is hers, she called. It's her Christmas present. She wouldn't want to lose it.
What a sadistic, fucked up person.
Well, I mean, that's what she gets for stealing, I
it.
guess.
She's still this woman's.
It's
That's
a
really,
Christmas present.
that's really fucked up.
That's a weird punchline.
That
though.
is
Yeah.
really
What?
weird. So Mrs.
Okay.
Briggs was trying to
Are they
save.
writing this for the the brains of like a 9-year-old kid?
Yeah.
The
'Cause they
dead man's hand. I'm gonna read this.
Yeah.
Oh god.
This
This
illustration is really
so
troubling.
troubling illustration because the
It's like
pinky,
it's like a gangrenous dead hand.
yeah, bloated here on the pinky and like the thumb and
Look
like
at the bone sticking out of the wrist.
Oh,
the
it's a lot.
skin is receded so that the
Mm.
fingernails are kind of protruding a little bit.
Y'all hungry again?
Mm-hmm. The student's hand. The students at the school for nurses, they got along quite well with each other, except for Alice.
Oh, Alice.
The
She's a
trouble with
bitch.
Alice was she was perfect.
She's so pretty.
At least that is how it seemed to the other students. She was always friendly and was always cheerful. Nothing ever upset her. Her school assignments were always on time and were always perfect. She didn't even bite her fingernails.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Everybody does
Such
that.
kind of
I'm
The
9
nurses,
years old.
they're, yeah. Many of the student nurses resented Alice.
Mm.
They would have liked to see her fail at something, become frightened, or cry, or do something that she had
Girls always are
weaknesses.
frightened about something.
One night,
Not
several
Alice.
students tried to frighten Alice with a practical joke. They borrowed the hand of a corpse.
I'm just borrowing this.
That
I'll
had
bring
been-
it back.
They'd been studying in anatomy, and they tied it to the light cord in her closet.
Oh my
Gross.
God, that's really fucked
When
up.
she tried to turn on the light, she found herself holding a dead man's hand. That would scare anybody, one of them said. If it doesn't scare her, nothing will. After tying the hand in place, they went to the movies. When they got back, Alice was asleep. But when they didn't see her the next morning, they decided to find out what happened.
What?
There was no sign of Alice in the room, but they soon found her. She was sitting on the floor in her closet, staring at the dead man's hand and mumbling to herself. Alice didn't even look up. The joke had worked, and nobody was laughing.
The joke.
Totally worked.
Oh, we got her. Bitch is crazy.
She's just a nurse.
That's such a fucked up story.
People are
And
awful.
then they went to a movie. Like, Alice sucks. Let's put a corpse's hand in her fucking
That'll
closet.
show
Let's
her.
go see Cool World.
That's what you get for being perfect.
Little Miss Perfect.
I wonder if this
Fuck
is like
you.
You've Got My Toe, Cemetery Soup.
Got my
That's a
toes.
horrible picture.
This will make a very good soup bone. I think I'll take it home. It's perfect weather for hot soup that she found in a graveyard. This is
found
just
a-
like the.
She
You
found a
got my
bone in a
toe.
graveyard? Why would you ever make soup from a bone you found in a graveyard?
Again, must have been the depression or something.
Look at that fucking... It's like, that picture is insane. She's like, this is good for
It's like
soup.
a
It's a human
femur.
foot.
Yeah.
It's clearly a human foot.
And so this is describing like the recipe. I
Oh.
don't know what. Oh yeah, this is the exact same story.
I want the
Um,
bone back. But
Please give me back my bone. The woman paid no attention. Soon she heard the voice again. May I have back my bone, please? The woman was reading the
many times
newspaper,
have you
and
heard
again
that,
she
Julia?
didn't. Am I right? In a little while, a voice spoke up, sounding angry. Give me back my bone! The woman kept on reading the paper. Some people are too impatient, she muttered. Once more, the
had
voice
enough.
You're
spoke.
an asshole.
She loves eating.
I want my bone back! The woman reached into the pot, grabbed the bone, and threw it out the window. In a voice just as loud, she shouted, Take it! There was an eerie silence, and the woman heard footsteps scurrying away in the house down the road toward the cemetery. Then she got up and served herself some soup. Girl
wins.
power.
Yeah, she won. She won.
She's like,
Consent.
I already made the soup.
I don't need the bone anymore. Take it, dumb dead
Take
person.
it.
This
I'm
is
done.
stupid. This isn't. Well, no, it's pretty scary.
Oh, no,
I
'cause
take
you
it
got
back.
his
This is
hands.
scary.
This is stupid. Wait, nope. Scared.
Oh,
Okay.
oh God,
Wait.
that's the scariest
Scared now.
suit because it's
It's
got.
scary because it's
a-
brown, so it's out
Oh,
of fashion.
okay.
No, it's like person here and here, and then instead of a head, it's a hanger.
Here, read this one. I've heard
Okay.
this in the form of a joke before.
It's a fucking
Oh,
scary
that's not
suit.
scary. Wait, it's scary.
Oh, wait,
Look
it's
at the
scary.
hands.
Yes, look at the hands. The brown suit.
Okay, I'm ready.
A woman came to the funeral parlor to see her husband's corpse. You did a good job, she said to the undertaker. He looks just the way he always looked, except for one thing. My husband always wore a brown suit, but you have dressed him in a blue suit.
Okay.
That is no problem, said the undertaker. We can easily change it. When she returned later, her husband was wearing a brown suit. Now he looks just the way he always did, she said. I know you went through a lot of trouble. It was no trouble, he said. As it happened, there was a man here who was wearing a brown suit, and his widow felt that blue would be better. So she's about to your husband's side, so we gave him the blue one and gave your husband the brown one. Even so, she said, changing all that clothing was really a big job. Oh, not really, said the undertaker. All we did was exchange their heads.
Oh fuck!
What? It doesn't matter.
He's lazy.
I have a boner.
Any story that's set at a funeral home is erotica.
really-
I
Yeah,
just have to
yeah.
say, the heads were already detached.
Yes.
So otherwise there'd be blood everywhere.
Terrible.
I mean, congealed,
terrible.
but
Thing.
coagulated, but
Coagulated,
still.
but still like not.
So it's just like,
don't cut.
well, this
someone's
was
head off.
already. You could just swap.
I feel like you're looking for logic in the wrong places.
Yeah. True. Ba-boom. I like that there's music here. Thumpity thump. I like it when the name of it is like clingy
Yeah.
chink clings. Thump thumpy booms. You're like, how can I take this serious?
Bang, bang,
And then it
bangity
has-
bang chibop.
It has like the most it had the picture of Iggy Pop. And it's
Grandma Iggy Pop.
terrifying. And the name was Thumpity Thump. Ooh, thumpy thump thump. Look like the most
Meow,
evil
meow,
dandelions
kitty.
you've ever fucking seen.
They're hanged to dandelions.
Oh,
Painted.
it's all hates. This is
All right,
number
I'm gonna go
3.
pee.
Okay.
Never pee. What?
No.
And like, how does Justin evoke this picture?
Oh, you know.
Scary's gonna
If you
have
knew
to
him,
do
you'd get
Justin's
it.
a bastard. To Justin, I hope you sleep well tonight. Justin will never sleep. I wonder if like Justin got like a framed original print of that,
Mhm.
and it's like, this is
This is really sweet, but
so
I
this
don't want
this artist. He rendered my words, and I just wanted you to have it because the artist just like went. I told him about you, how you
Mhm.
love birding and your favorite colors, and just like how you love to laugh,
Mm-hmm.
and like how you love movies. And this is what he did.
Oh.
It's nice, right?
I'll put it
Like-
in the. There's a I can't wait to. Thank you.
It's so fucked up. It's like a weird fetus with
It has an eyeball.
and like crazy
And
hair,
some
possibly.
veins
and
and
it's
maybe
like
a
biting
scar.
into its own lip.
It's like a heart that's biting itself and has an eyeball.
Oh,
And
yeah.
is bleeding.
And an ear. There's a little
Oh,
ear,
there's an ear there?
but it's also a turnip.
Oh, sure, why not?
That's what Justin means to me.
To somebody.
Now it means that to me. I don't know about you.
Poor Justin.
Boomin'. It's incredible how scary these pictures are.
Especially since most of the stories are so dumb.
What the? Yeah.
Sure.
This one looks
You know
like
he's blasted Skinnerd.
It's so
You can
good.
like hear the solo from Freebird.
Free bird. And Death is going, free bird. Skinner rocks. Free bird. That's so good. This is way scarier than like the bat guy, the bat cat. This is just
I
darkness.
can do a few more, but I gotta go home soon.
Yeah.
Dude, don't you agree that
Roommate's
this
crazy.
Can you- Can you
guy's-
hear the Skinner blasting out of this car
Oh
that's
my
flying?
God, that's
this
so
truck that's flying?
beautiful.
and Death is like free bird.
Go get him, brother. Ride or die, brother.
It's so good. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide, son. American. he's going like American by birth, Southern by the grace of God.
By the grace of death.
That's me, Thanatos,
Oh, this is so good.
Pluto. I run Hades. I'm in love with Persephone.
Wait, ready?
Street Survivors rocked.
That's fun.
This is.
Chilling album
It's a shame
cover.
it took him so long.
I really like our story for this picture
Yeah,
now.
right.
Because Death is sort of just like a
Goddamn.
good old boy, like
Yeah.
being like, ow, roll Tide,
Roll Tide.
free bird.
I don't even. So what's the actual
I
story?
got a court date. I gotta go.
I got my DUI. Court date.
I'm riding a bike
can't
around
fuck it
town.
up again.
I
I'm
know.
drunk right now. Well, this kind
I
of.
got kids now, man.
It's almost topical. It's called The Appointment.
Oh.
A 16-year-old Southern boy worked on his grandfather's horse farm.
What's a ranch?
I
That's
knew
not a
that was
farm.
just gonna
anyway,
say.
it doesn't matter.
Oh, they're farming out those
They're
horses.
milking the
It's
horses.
inhumane. One morning, he drove a pickup truck. Is there any other kind of truck? Am I right? Into town on an errand. When he was walking along the main street, he saw Death. Death beckoned to him. The boy drove back to the farm as fast as he could and told his grandfather what happened. Give me the truck, he begged. I'll go to the city. They'll never find me there. His grandfather gave him the truck, and the boy sped away. After he left, his grandfather went into town looking for Death. When he found him, he asked, "Why did you frighten my grandson that way? He is only 16. He is too young to die." "I'm sorry about that," said Death. "I did not mean
He's
to
a
beckon to
gentleman.
him, but I was surprised to see him here. You see, I have an appointment with him this afternoon in the city."
He just walked
to the
into his
city,
death.
guys.
And if you
'Cause
go to
he's
the
done-
city, you'll find death there.
Alcohol.
And death will find you.
Because there's drinking in
There's
the city.
drinking, there's sin, there's women, There's
Went
drugs.
straight to a bar.
In Biloxi.
That's the city. The bus stop. I'm just gonna wait for the bus.
Yeah, I'm gonna lift home.
Julia, do you want to go wait for the bus?
No.
I'm just gonna wait for the bus. Public transport's very reliable here.
But that's like this reminds me of like all those '90s stories, like by R.L. Stein, like the haunted
Goosebumps,
bus stop,
yeah.
and then the haunted
The haunted
babysitter
doll, the haunted house, the haunted toaster, the
Mhm.
haunted whatever. Yeah.
Wait.
The haunted mannequin.
Wait, can I just read you this?
Yeah, everything was enchanted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This guy gives his full name in this. Ed Cox was driving
Oh.
home from work.
Thanks.
Oh, there you go. He gives someone a ride home. This is another one. Oh, anytime a guy meets the nicest girl he's ever met,
Oh.
does not turn out well.
Yikes.
I'm glad it rained. Would you like to go out tomorrow after work? I'd love to, Joanna said.
Mm.
But
Jean,
Joanna
Joanna.
did not. Ed waited at the bus stop for almost an hour.
Okay.
And so then he drove to her house in Farmington. An older woman came to the door. I'm Ed Cox, he said. Maybe Joanna
Bitch, don't
told you
care.
about me. I had a date with her tonight. We were supposed to meet at the bus stop near her office, but she didn't show up. Is she all right? The woman looked at him as if he had said something strange. I am Joanna's
Like
mother.
I'm gonna meet her at a bus stop.
Wait,
That's a strange.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am Joanna's mother, she said slowly. Joanna isn't here now. But why don't you come in?
We'll
Ed-
do it,
Ed pointed
Cox.
to a picture on the mantle. That looks just like her.
Well,
Because it's a picture of her.
In her mom's house.
And then wait, it did once, her mother replied. But that picture was taken when she was your age. About 20 years ago. A few days later, as she was
Cougar.
waiting in the rain at that bus stop, a car hit her. And she was killed.
oh.
There's so many things that make, like, why is she like,
I thought they were gonna
Joanna's
fuck.
not here.
Yeah.
Right.
Why don't you come in?
now.
Why wouldn't you be like, what the fuck? Joanna's been
So are
dead
you into
for 20
older
years.
women then? Yeah, like
They're like trying to get the
yeah.
you're like, that setup doesn't work,
Are
guys.
you down?
Yo.
I think
Down?
they
Are you down?
I think they transcribed this from 9-year-olds telling the story. That would make
That
sense,
would-
right?
oh,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah.
Because otherwise it doesn't. Like a
Oh my
9-year-old
God.
would be like. and
They don't
then
get subtext.
She said she's not here now, and then he
Okay,
saw
guys.
a picture and he said that looks just like her. That's like
New publishing venture. We get all of our friends' little kids
Yeah.
to tell us the scariest story they know,
Mhm.
and then we compile
Ooh.
it into a book.
Yeah.
it's like
So,
a
like,
it's like a
verbatim.
good,
Freddie, Billy.
it's like a good axe. It's like Axe Cop but scary.
What's that? Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
cute. It's
Awesome.
So cute. A 5-year-old, like a
And then we find somebody
graphic
who can
novelist.
draw
His like
to do
5-year-old little
scary
brother
stories.
like, narrated a story called Axe Cop.
for them.
And
Nice.
he illustrated and then eventually animated everything he narrated. But it would be like that, but better.
Okay.
Because it'd be different.
So I recorded a couple